as soon as this is done. Alright, so, oh, we switched up the colors a little bit. Now we got Thrasher in blue up against Uncommon now in the teal. So, Uncommon kind of stole Thrasher's color. And, oh, this is a very green map. We got a little bit of gold. No in-base natural this time, but it looks like it's a pretty accessible third. Gold way up here. And there's a lot of expansion on this one. I think this is a 4-player map. It looks like it seems radially symmetrical, more or less. So there's our standard build out of him. But I haven't seen an expansion yet. Okay. Looks like I was just impatient, because the expansion is right on time. A little bit with the early gas for Uncommon. You might be doing the Reaper thing again. I was kind of hoping to see him do that, the 5 racks on 1 base build that he was so impressed with. But I guess he's not going to do it today. Or if he is, he's saving it for one of the later matches. He's saving up a lot of resources because he's expanding now. So if he's not going Mass Reaper, you don't want to do that right as you're expanding. That'd be wasteful. Obi went the wrong way, so they still don't know where each other are, but he's going to find out here in a minute. Yeah, neither seen the other. So the Scouting Reaper comes out. He's going to go the wrong way initially. And he's probably going to get halfway around the map before that Overlord actually becomes visible and tells him which way to go. A little oversaturated over here, but I'm sure he'll either get them on gas or get them over to the next base. Here is his... He's got his link speed coming out. Reactor... Now notice he's been doing this. He's going kind of a 2-1-1 thing. He gets 2 barracks out before he goes for his starport. And he's done that pretty much every time except the time he went Mass Reaper in Game 2. But we got Lings poking up, and I don't believe this has happened since one of the early games, and he might, if he's lucky, catch this SCV. Couldn't get him before we finished the command post, command center, unfortunately. So this guy still has not found... Cute. You don't see that a whole lot. People don't really... They don't garrison the command center very often, but looks like he changed his mind about it. But he'll probably send some Marines down there to handle that, or if he finishes these Hellions, but that'd be a long wait. There's the starport. Or I guess he could just let it burn down. I mean, that's one option. It's not really the one that I would recommend. But, you know, it's there. It's something you can do. He's still only on... Oh, here we go. He was going to go for the 3rd base, but that Reaper got him. So that's annoying. Let's see if he notices that. So that's one of those things that's kind of easy to miss if you're not really, really used to always paying attention. But yeah, he caught it. So he's got his new base on the way. And there's that. And the Roach Warren. He's going Roaches this time. We'll see if we do see Roach Ravager again. I believe this is more or less the same as the build he used in the first match, where he got the 3rd a little bit later and around the same time as the Roach Warren. And that one worked out really well for him. Now, what was this guy doing? Was that just a miss rally? eBay got the upgrades coming. No supply blocks just yet, but oh, there's one. And no sign of an OV yet. Your supply blocked. Oh, the OV just finished. Let's see. Still no sign of a layer. I guess he's okay at his current tech level. He hasn't gotten a whole lot of roaches out yet. but then they don't have a whole lot to deal with yet. I'm also seeing not a whole lot of creep spread this time. He was a little further along with the creep spread on the first game. They might be getting tired. This is their 4th game. And I can imagine that macro will slip a little bit when you just play that much. He seems to have also forgotten to get his armor upgrade. Not going to screw around with the drones, though. Nice big wave of drones coming. Blind spore crawlers. He's done that a couple of times, too, and it's worked out pretty well for him once. But this also worked out really well for Uncommon the last time he did it, so let's see if he can pull that off again. This might have kind of announced what he was planning, but I mean, there's still not a whole lot of units on the field for Spartan School, so he might have a hard time handling this once again. Yeah, gonna lose the lair. Well, the potential lair, the incipient lair. It's not a lair yet, but it's cancelled and it goes down. Which I don't think it's necessary to cancel that. I think it was in Brood War. But there goes the Roach Warren. This might be another one that goes really quickly to Uncommon thanks to a good drop. So yeah, like there's just not a whole lot left to deal with this. He could have just stayed and handled those lings. Maybe the roaches would have been able to do something about it, but I mean, as long as he stays away from all these spore crawlers, and there are a lot of spore crawlers. Looks like a couple of Marines got left behind, poor guys. He got Overlord speed pretty quickly. But now here comes another drop. Or this is probably just a push. Between the two of these, I don't think that Thrasher is going to be able to hold this off. Now without some serious micro mistakes on the part of Uncommon. I mean, he's still trying to get back his tech. And that's just, it's not going to work. This Roach Warren's going to get popped again. On the plus side, he got the tanks. He was able to clean up the stuff on the front. These guys landed in the back, but he let the spore crawlers kill those medevacs, which is going to let him clean up these Marines too. So I think that was that micro mistake that he really needed Uncommon to make, and it seems to have really saved him there. So I mean, he's still behind, I think, but it's not as bad as it could have been. Oh yeah, he's still way behind. But that could have potentially been game ending, and it ended up not being. And so he's got to kind of macro his way out of this. If he can get a decent number of drones up, he's still way behind on drones. On the plus side, he's got more of an army out in terms of minerals, but it's all Zerglings. Except for, 4 roaches. Meh. But if he can get this Spire up, if he can get he's going to be able to get like 10 mutas out by then. Mutas haven't really worked out for him once yet, but if he can get a good chunk of them out, he might be able to get back into this. But it would really behoove him to, he's going to be fine. He was close there for a second. But if he can build them mutas, it's done. Go on. Alright, he's trying to macro up a little bit, and that's good. He needed that. Whereas Uncommon, he's got his next base already coming out. Even mining from a little bit, and she needs to Maynard some of these guys down there. And some of these guys, he was basically mined out in his main by the time he headed out there. So he's floating all these minerals, and they could all be... There they are, finally. I don't know if he was just short on larva or what. I could have checked that, I guess, because it shows him right here, which is really cool. I think they added that sometime in Heart of the Swarm. They didn't do that originally. But with this many mutas, he might, he's going to finally have a chance to make mutas work. I think he hasn't been able to get a large number out yet in all the times that he's tried to do this. And there's, at this point, there's 50 Marines out, so that could really hurt the mutas. It's not like 17 mutas can handle 50 Marines, but if they've got a decent number of Lings to tank for him, there's a shot at least. And if he's really on point with his macro, he might even never have to engage him. He's also getting those little bit, he's managed to catch up in the workers. So he's managed to macro his way out of this for the most part. That's good. We got a fairly even matchup now. Let's see what these guys can accomplish. I'm going to take this tank out, definitely. There's a lot of missile turrets around, though. Ooh, 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 ooh. Only three. That could have gone a lot worse than it did. Ooh, that was risky. That was risky. It ended up not costing him much, but whew, he was playing with fire there. It looks like Uncommon is going to just go mass missile turret, but he doesn't. Yeah. I don't know if you want to engage into that. And right now, you need to get back here because you're not going to win a base trade with 17 Mutalisks. Now, if he can get this together at the same time, but he's not going to be able to. The Lings are going to be gone by the time he gets there. If he could have held off just a couple seconds to engage, but it's too late at this point. And these roaches, there's 17 roaches, they're not going to save him. He's trying to get another base out. I think he started that a while back. But these are the death throws right here. He could have held that off if he'd been able to, if he timed it a little bit better.